Are we on, guys?
Yes, Manjula.
Oh, okay.
1 second.
Yeah. Very welcome and good morning and good day to everybody today whoever is assembling for the session today. I wish you a very happy festival, which we are going to see our Diwali festival in a day or two. So welcoming all, and I may this season bring a little sparkle of inspiration to each and everyone for learning our insights today from Nandini. And it's my privilege and pleasure to introduce Nandini to all of you. Just a little bit about Nandini. Nandini is a young and dynamic tech sparkle, I would say that. And she started her career with Microsoft and moved to Oracle. And recently, she has again moved on to another Datadog organization. All right. So, absolutely amazed to see the passion and the energy what she has. It's just not about the technology, also the kind of inclination she has given to connect with the community, to share when I can do, I can make sure my fellow sisters can also do about it. So she has just prepared very nicely about her topic today to make sure when Nandini can do it, you can also do it. So that's her motto today, where she has just put every pointer. If somebody wants to be in technical career, whether you're working or not working, or you're just looking for restarting your career, whatever your journey, or even a fresher, she has prepared a path. So she has spent a good time. And first, I would like to welcome her and going to understand a little more about her so that we can correlate and resonate. Who's Nandini, and why should we listen from her? Probably that would be the first question I would like to understand from her. From there, I would like to just give her a way forward to talk about how she has just navigated her career, and that becomes the insights for us to understand how we can build our career. Welcome, Nandini. It's my pleasure and privilege to bring you. And as I keep saying, you are all young sparks where we get excited and energized when we see you with talking about how you are navigating the technology. Welcome to the session, and please let us know about from your postgraduate. I saw from research intern you were started your career. That's where I was just looking at your LinkedIn profile, and from there you start moving your career while you are performing. You also never leave your next opportunity to be explored. Tell us about you, Nandini. Happy to be with you today. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today, and I'm super excited to be here with you. Yeah, I mean, before we get into the actual the session, I just want to share about my career. My career wasn't a straight line, and I've faced so many rejections in my career. I've had moments where I'm always in self-doubt. I've been on the other side of the table also, where I'm wondering am I good enough, and am I going to be okay if I join this company? Am I going to be able to perform at that level? But I've also been on the other side where I've interviewed candidates and I have reviewed hundreds of resumes, and then I've really seen what really makes somebody stand out and how we can overcome those obstacles, and then learn from that and grow. So yeah, what I've learned is that success and job hunting is not about being perfect. It's just about being strategic. So you need to be prepared, and most importantly, you need to be confident, because you have a unique value, and if you can present that, then you can deliver something, definitely. So I'm really passionate about helping others navigate their journey similar to mine. So because if you have the right mindset and the right tools, everything changes. So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's about me.
Yeah, happy to hear about it. But then you gave two important factors where everybody goes through that. One is I myself been in that place. I was not confident. I was doubting myself. Am I ready or am I good for it? Everybody goes through at whatever is the stage. It's nothing to do with the job hunting, whether you are in an entry level, mid level, senior level, every level, even in our personal life, we go through it. Why is it that for me? Why I am not able to do it? Is it that bad for me? So that question comes. So now I would like to explore further, because as I said, when we hear from people who are able to reflect both the side of the story, yes, I've been part of that, but I was also able to overcome it. And now, as you rightly said, I've seen both the side of the story. And I'm able to give you the strategy now how to go about it. But before I just get into the solution part of it, let me dwell more about it. Why did you have that? And what was the instinct, or what was the incident would just put you to think through, am I good enough? Just help me out.
Yeah, at every instant, like it happens even today. I mean, it's not that, I have completely overcome it. And even before every presentation or every big meeting with the stakeholders, I'm always like nervous and kind of like wondering if I will be able to make it through this. I think this happens to everybody. And even like, I look at like pop idols and like other people for inspiration. And, other people also say that even today, like legends who are like really like very big people are also like self-doubting themselves, and so it never really goes away, but you have to keep trying even before you're ready. Otherwise you'll never be able to know if you will be able to do it. Uh, so believe in yourself, be prepared. So you have to be prepared. That means like you can't just show up without like preparation, but you have to believe in yourself that you will make it through, and just go forward and then it will happen. But I think the path is that like to be prepared, you have to have a like a strategic plan of what the preparation and the resources and the tools you should follow. So that is where your like action and your action can like the role will play in. So I mean, do what is in your hands and like leave the rest to like uh, to God.
Awesome. And I'm just hoping your parents are watching this too today, right? Just look at that, how the daughter is just making a transformation by giving the input, what I have gone through as becoming the stepping stone, right? Hope they are just looking at amazing, Nandini. Happy to just hear about it. So now let me just give you one more insights before we just do that. One of the story is what you said is right? Everybody goes through it and we need to overcome it. But the second story, what you are doing, probably I would like to highlight about it. While we are transitioning, how much we are taking this and bringing that to the outside world to help others. That is your biggest part, right? It is just not for you, for everybody. I would say that that is your growth, that is your transformation. I think you picked it up. I was really happy about it, because a lot of technology people, or even rather, I don't even want to bucketize them only for technology people. People are good in their career, but they don't come out and then take it up. Oh, when I can do it, you can also do it. This is your recipe. Please pick it up. Right. So that's the door opener. I'm wishing you very, very, very all the best, because don't ever let this go down. The more you help, the more you are going to receive about it. Thanks for taking the step here today to be with us. And you are sitting with the 2 lakh plus community members today, where they are going to just look at you. And even a one person takes that as the inspiration. We have done our work. We've
Yeah.
done our work. Thanks for doing that with us. And with us, let's just start our next part of it. How did you navigate your Microsoft and Oracle part of it? Just tell us about that journey, about what did you do in technical work, and how did you just enable yourself to get into the next level transition, both for the career activity and the non-career activity, which enabled you to see your success transition.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, yeah, I started my career at Microsoft as a software engineer one, and as any other like software engineer in the industry, I was super like motivated and eager to prove myself and make like make it known that I can survive and do this. So at Microsoft, I was working on both. Like I was a full stack engineer, so I was doing front end and back end. So I was working in the commerce C plus AI organization. And yeah, I got my hands on couple of like interesting projects. And I was able to lead like the entire stack of the platform that was there. So that was pretty exciting. But then I was pretty like planning ahead that okay, I am kind of going towards my like mark of like next level, because I had completed 2.5 years at Microsoft and I really wanted to, step up and get into the new role. So I'm going to talk about like promotions and things like that. But as like a new fresher in the industry, people like are always very motivated to get promoted and showcase that they are able to perform at the next level. So I think that was my like mindset. Like I had to get a role at another company at the next level, and I interviewed at various places, and I got multiple offers, and then I chose Oracle Cloud because I really wanted to get into the core like distributed systems, which is where my background was from my masters. So I joined Oracle Cloud in the cloud storage team, and yeah, that was a really like life changing experience because I got to work on like the entire like object storage for Oracle Cloud, and um, that like led that also like gave me the opportunity to lead several projects end to end, and like design and architect the entire like stack of the infrastructure. So it was really amazing. And yeah, I think what really helps is that once you are like comfortable in your like role, like you should think about upskilling always, and I'm going to talk about it in the like presentation. But don't get too comfortable in your like journey, in the sense that okay, once you join the company there is a learning curve, but after that, once you are like comfortable with the projects, always try to innovate, come up with new projects, and then also try to upskill in the background, because maybe what you're working on is like one kind of a tech stack or one product that you're working on, but you also need to be aware of other products that are out there, and how do you build and architect those. So if you are a backend software engineer, for example, like for me, I had to, so I was working on the cloud storage part of it, but I also wanted to learn how other like, let's say, finance products, or let's say like any kind of e-commerce or any other kind of like a platform would be built. So this is where the like knowledge comes helps come in, because if you are giving interviews, you'll be asked system design questions, you'll be asked to system design those kind of platforms which you have not worked on, but you would be like supposed to know about it, because given your experience. So it's very helpful to kind of learn and familiarize yourself with those ahead of time.
Awesome. R- Happy to hear about the pointers, right? One is a curiosity to learn. You never just be on the comfort zone and pick it up, and whatever is the tech stack, just go plus one, as well as see additional business domain. Anything can be acquired so that you are better prepared for even to do or lead a new project for architecting or giving a better interview. That was a good part of it, which I was able to gather from your connect. And the second one is about just keep building yourself to navigate. For example, your story of a Microsoft after 2.5 years, you had your vision of just moving to your next level, and you were started giving the interview, and whether you're rejecting or not rejecting, continue to build yourself over. Okay, we are in Microsoft, it's better to just stay and then figure that out. So that was the good part of it. I hope people should be able to pick up this cues when you, whatever they are just doing. But without further ado, you have just put a hard work to prepare after knowing what is our mission, while we are asking you to be part of it. You have done it, and I'm just requesting you to just go ahead and talk about what you have just done for our community to navigate the career, whether they are a fresher or they are a women restarter, or they are working somewhere like you where they are working, they wanted to come back and to a new position, how they can navigate. Please pick it up, and we will just take the questions from the community members. All of you feel free to just put your questions over here. We will try as much as possible to answer. Otherwise, Nandini and our team would be able to give you the answers to you in the LinkedIn if we missed any of the question. So LinkedIn is open for all our questions. Feel free to just drop it. Over to you, Nandini.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, yeah, I mean, today's session is basically about career comeback and interview mastery. So, I'm going to basically talk about how to get you interview ready and career confident. So, whether you're fresh out of college, or like returning from a career break, or you're looking up to level up in your career, like this session is going to help you. So, I think I covered like my journey, so I'll kind of skip through it. And I'll kind of first like get into like the elephant in the room, which is like AI, and everybody is kind of talking about it. Like, so the job market has fundamentally changed because AI like is a huge part of the change in the job market because there's first of all there's AI powered screening tools. So companies are using like AI to filter through the resumes before even like a human looks through them, because there's so many applicants out there. So the systems are looking for some specific keywords and some specific qualification to make sure that you are the right candidate. Like they can like filter out to screen to interview, right? So that's very important to like consider. And the second thing is that the video interview analysis, like some companies are now using like AI to analyze your video interview. For example, like where are you looking, and for example, how are you saying things. Like I have been part of some hacker rank interviews where if I'm not looking at the like screen, and if I just look away for a couple of seconds, the interview is kind of like over, right? So it is marked as kind of like fraudulent. So these are very advanced like systems which have some monitoring tools where the camera and the voice and things like that are automatically making sure that your eye contact is there, things of that sort. So the third thing is like automated skill assessments, because you might take a coding test, like or a personality assessment or any kind of, but there is like AI which is like grading you. So if you submit the hacker rank or any kind of assessment, it's not like going to be checked by a human, right? So it is going through a automatic skill like AI checker. So in that case, like your answers are going to be matched against what is going to be like expected by the AI tool. So here's something people don't realize, like companies are scanning your LinkedIn profile and your social media. So basically your entire digital footprint. So you really need to make sure that like you are like putting out a very professional version of yourself, and your LinkedIn is kind of up to date with all your recent basically professional journey and your accomplishments. So yeah, there's a like quick reality check that I want to get you. Like 75% of the resumes, they never reach like a human, like a recruiter or recruiter's eyes, because they just get filtered out, because it's really impossible for the recruiter to be sitting on the other end and going through each and every single resume. So but don't panic, this isn't bad news, it's just the reality. So what we need to understand is how you can work with the system and not against it. So that's exactly what we are going to learn today. And yeah, also like going to talk about uh, if you have a gap in your career. Like I want to just talk about those people who have a gap in the resume. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's longer. The gap isn't a problem. So I just need you to know this. The what matters is your like how you present your story. So a career break is not equal to a career end. What matters isn't like how long you were away. What matters is what you learned and what you did and how you grew during your like break. So did you take any online courses, or did you do any freelance, or did you do any project work? Now, did you volunteer? So like what exactly, like even if you dealt with a family situation, right, that built some resilience and some problem solving skills. So that's what I really want you to internalize, that confidence is your biggest asset. And if you walk into an interview apologizing for your gap, the interviewer will see it as a problem. But if you walk in and say that during my break, this is what I accomplished, then that's really amazing, because you can reframe your story, and you can turn that gap into a growth period. So that's how you should talk about it. And then I really want to get into like how do you actually get the interview calls. Like this is now the main thing. So your resume is not just a document, it's like your marketing tool. So it's your first impression, and it is what is getting you through in the door, like, and or it is keeping you out. So first you need to understand that there is an ATS system, which is the applicant tracking system, and those system will basically scan your resume. They'll look for some specific keywords, specific format, some qualifications. So if a job posting says that you need some like Java experience, right? And if you don't mention Java in your resume, then it ATS is not going to make that connection, and you might not hear back from that opportunity, right? So, and also like the format really matters. So your resume needs to pass the ATS scanner format. So which means like clean formatting. It means like no fancy formats, no like coloring in the resume. Third thing is super important. Like you have to quantify everything. Don't say like improved the availability of the system. Say that improved availability by, let's say, like 99 point, improve availability to 99.9999%, right? So things of that sort, they improve impact, like they showcase impact, and they like make you stand out in the like crowd. So you need to tailor your resume for every application. That's, I know that sounds like a lot of work, but a tailored resume that matches the job description will beat a generic resume every single time. So think about it this way. Like, would you rather send out 100 generic resumes and get 2 interviews, or send out 20 tailored resumes and get 10 interviews? So I think quality over quantity, like always. So yeah, use the exact same language that's there in the job description, and then I would say like this makes it easy for the ATS system to at least match your like role to the application. Yeah, I think I just talked about this. So there are some AI tools which can help with the ATS. Like a lot of people might be asking, like, where do I? So there's a lot of free AI like ATS checkers already, which will tell you how much of your ATS score. So try to get a ATS score of like 70% at least, to make sure that your like resume is good. And then like make sure you're using Grammarly, or like making sure that there's no spelling mistake. It's like you can have a good template for the resume, and then use like ChatGPT to kind of tailor the resume according to the job description. So if you have a generic resume and if you want to reword it, like use that for rewording. And then that this is how like you can use the AI tools to kind of optimize, and make sure at least you're beating the ATS system, and like making your application get in through the like door. And yeah, this is the main thing I think that has changed with AI. So, which means that you have to use AI to apply for the applications like smartly. AI is really incredible to your job search. There's so many like platforms like Job GPT, and like there's a lot of like AI job application portals which like use your resume to auto apply to these job. Basically, you don't need to sit and manually fill the application form and then click submit, and then spend a whole bunch of time. So the AI will automatically generate the cover letter for you. It will optimize the keywords and find out relevant openings, and then apply, personalize your resume for that particular job role. But please do like proofread everything, because AI can make mistakes. So always review your resume like before you actually click submit. So yeah, that's important. And for those people who are asking like where to apply for jobs, which is like super important, so I would say like the best place to apply is like on company career page. This is your highest success rate. Like when you apply directly, your application goes straight into the system, and it shows that you are genuinely interested. And then on LinkedIn, you just don't click like easy apply and move on. Engage with the like company. You can ping the HR of the company, the recruiter who has posted that job opening, and then message them that hey, I saw this opening, and put that why your uh, relevant experience is kind of relevant to the job that they have posted about. So it kind of puts you at a level up in that list of people who have applied for the job. And then referrals is obviously like super important, because if you know someone at the company, ask for the referral. Referral is like 5 times more likely to get like the interview call, right? And there's also some recruitment agencies, and there's a whole bunch of like recruiters who can reach out directly. And if you know somebody, you can so what my advice is that you can apply to 10 to 15 tailored roles weekly, and just don't apply for like 100 generic roles, because quality always beats quantity in job searching. And now let's come to the most important section, which is the upskilling. So this is how you stay competitive and grow in your career. Like, I know what you're thinking. Like, some of you are already working full time, and you might be asking, when am I supposed to find time to learn new skills? So I get it. You have some personal commitments, and you are going to like need time for all those after work. But I'm going to tell you, like, in the early stages of the career, it is super important to at least upskill and become relevant for the market demand. So like just take out like 15 to 30 minutes every day. So that's just like one episode of some TV show or something, right? Like even during your like commute or during your like break time, just focus on like some in demand skills for your specific role. Don't try to learn everything. So go deep, not like just wide, and learn on the job also. Like, for example, like if you're working in some particular project, don't just do it for the sake of completing the job. So ask to like take the challenging assignment that everybody else is avoiding. Volunteer for those projects which are like stretching you and which gives you an opportunity to learn on the job. So this is basically how you will get time to kind of upskill while you're working. There's another thing which is like whatever you are building, you can write a like a portfolio or like a web page, or you can post about it so that you can make your growth visible. So you can showcase to the community that you have the right skills, and then the people will automatically connect with you because they would like to connect with those people who are also upskilling, right? So yeah, I feel like if you are in tech, maybe it's like learning a new programming language or some framework. If you are in some other domain, like if you are in data analytics, and if you're wanting to learn like SEO, or if you're any role, right, you need to learn to improve your communication, leadership skills. So find whatever is relevant to your career path and focus there, because there is a lot of abundance of tools, and it's very easy to get lost. So I'm kind of sharing some top free learning resources. Like, you don't need to spend like a lot of money on courses. I personally don't like spend too much money on, like, because there's so much of free resources that are available. So I'm sharing some free resources with you. So for coding, you can like use free code camp, and then there's like a lot of courses like the CS50 from Harvard, which I did when initially was I was learning coding. And then for data, like, people use Kaggle. It has free data sets, and there's a whole bunch of tutorials. There's a Google data analytics course, which is very nice. And then for design, there's like Figma. For AI and machine learning, like there's fast AI. There's also Google's like ML crash course, and there's also like a lot of like Stanford's AI courses that are coming out. It's completely free and it's on YouTube. Um, and for soft skills, you obviously like need to practice communication, and you need to give some mock interviews. But apart from that, LinkedIn Learning has a free trial, so you can use that for your soft skills. And then generally, like, you already know, like there's Coursera, there's Udemy, YouTube, for like a whole bunch of courses out there. So if you want to, and I would say like ChatGPT or any AI like chatbot is one of the best way to learn. Like, you can ask questions to it, and then you can ask like resources, that like links that you can read, and then go deep into some topics. So yeah, for those of you basically who are already like employed and want to get to the next level, what I would recommend is like first master your current role. Because if you are not like good at your current role, like you'll always be in the worry that, oh, okay, my current job is like suffering and things of that sort. Second, you have to build like visibility. Just don't do your great work in silence. Like, share the wins with others, and like mentor other people, like expand your network, um, things of that sort. So yeah, these are some more like skills that I'm kind of sharing. Like, so these are very hot right now in the market. Like, if you put these kind of skills in your resume, definitely, um, like if you learn these are going to get you good opportunities. For example, like AI/ML is obviously like the talk of the market, and then there's cloud cloud DevOps kind of roles, and then there's also like Python and data analysis. And then there's web, which is like React, Next.js. and then there's cybersecurity. So yeah, pick two or three that align with your career goals and go deep into that. Yeah, overall, like build your tech portfolio. This is some websites where you can push like real projects. And so as I talked about, like if you want to get to the next level, like this is your framework. So if you want to get promoted, you need to prove that you can do your current job and you're ready for the next level. So you have to master your current role, you have to build visibility, you have to expand your network, you have to ask for feedback and be very open to the feedback and the criticism. You have to express your ambitions, like manager cannot read your mind. If you want to be considered for promotion, make that clear. uh, yeah, let's come to the next section now, which is like once you got the interview, how do you actually crack the interview, right? So, um, I use the three-layer strategy for the preparation. Basically, one is the company research. You need to know the company's mission and like their products and any recent like news about them. This shows that you're genuinely interested and not just like treating this as any generic job search. So when you're talking in the interviews, when you have the opportunity to ask questions, be really curious about like what the product is and how your role will be in the company. This really puts you an edge over the other candidates. And then second thing is like the common questions, like prepare the behavioral questions very thoroughly, like the STAR method, like situation, task, action, result. Practice the technical questions, which are like if you are preparing for software engineering roles, you have to prepare for lead code, and then you have to like make sure that you're doing it time bound, like practice of those questions, like you're able to solve like within 45 minutes the required questions that you are given. uh, yeah, and you should have structured and clear answers ready for those questions. Third is like your story. So you should be like talking about and like preparing for your past achievement. So the times when you solved a problem, you overcame a challenge, or you learned from a failure. So have these stories like kind of ready. So there's like stories which are like technical stories and some stories which are like the behavioral kind of stories. So both of them you need to prepare and you need to practice it out loud. In fact, I have a document where I have written down like 5 to 7 stories, and then as soon as the topic comes up, like I just kind of go through that story in like a very structured way where I'm covering the situation, task, action, and the result of that story. So remember that the candidate who gets the offer isn't always the most qualified. They are the ones who are the most prepared. So preparation is like the key for cracking the interview. Yeah, and I think these are like some of the types of interviews that are there in like today's interviewing like job market, which is like the coding, the system design, there's a take home, there's technical screening, there's behavioral, and there could also be like pair programming. So these are the different like types of interviews, but the preparation may or may not differ. So some of the interviews, like I said, like it helps if you are preparing for that on the job. So for example, for live coding, if you are already like pair programming in your job with some senior engineer, it will really come useful and handy if you're already like prepared for communicating and thinking out loud for during those interviews. And coming back to like what are the strategies for cracking the interview? You have to practice 1 or 2 coding problems every single day. Do this for like 30 to 60 days, and you have to master the basics. For example, like all the data structure concepts, the algorithms, the greedy algorithms, dynamic programming. But that's not enough. Just knowing the concept is not enough. You have to think out loud and explain your approach before coding it. So you have to get the expectation clear with the interviewer of what they are expecting. And you have to write very clean code. So you can't be just writing a code and then you can going back up and then modifying it, or you're changing the variable or declaring all the variables at different places. Try to declare all the variables in one shot. So the code has to be really modular and clean, and it shouldn't have any duplicate code. Basically, standard clean coding programming practices. You also want to ask clarifying questions. don't just assume anything in the interview, right? So if you're given a problem, ask every thing about it and then only jump to the solution. Make sure that after writing the code, you are doing the testing, which is like you are doing the dry run of the code, and then you're writing some unit tests, and then making sure those unit tests also like work as expected and give you the expected output. And make sure to always check the edge cases in your test cases. So yeah, and these are like, I think this is pretty like standard. Like, so these are the common like interview topics which I feel like, so like these are the maximally used like questions. The most questions come from these topics like two pointers, sliding window, binary search, BFS, DFS, and dynamic programming. Um, and apart from like just the coding part of it, the behavioral aspect is as important like as the coding. Prepare the stories that show that you have both technical and soft skills. Now let's come to the like the main important thing, like how you can actually do this on your own while doing your preparation. So you have to use AI as your interview coach. Like this is what even I do. I open ChatGPT and I use the prompt like act as my interviewer for this particular job role and ask me some, let's say, behavioral questions, and then practice yourself answering loudly and then record yourself. Or you can, if you don't want to like do it like by self, and if you want to get like expert advice, you can use some online tools for your interview mock practices. Like you can use interviewing.io, Pramp. So these provide like any mock interviews that you might want to take with the actual engineers in those companies, so they can give you crisp feedback on what you are actually lacking. And you can also like look at some company specific interview questions and then look at how what people are getting asked. So you can look at like there's a lead code community section where people post like interview experiences, so you can go read that there. So remember that like practice makes you perfect. Rehearse. The more you rehearse, the more natural and confident you will be in the actual interview. Yeah, and that's it. Like, I just want to tell you, like, the confidence is actually the key, and like, what they're actually looking for is four things, right? One is competence. Can you do the job? Culture fit. Like, will you thrive here? And then there's communication. Like, can you articulate what is in your mind? Right? And then the next thing is confidence, which basically means, do you believe in yourself that you can do it? So remember that they want to hire you, and you just need to follow the path. And because they posted the job because they need someone, right? Now they called you for an interview because they think you might be that person. Now your job is only to help them say yes. So go in with the right confidence and you will earn the place at the right table. All right, I think we have covered a lot. Like, with the information without action is like just not talking, right? So let's turn this into some results. So here's your action plan. Like, make sure that you're updating your resume with keywords and like quantifiable numbers. Then run the ATS check on two tools. Like, maybe double check your ATS on different platforms. Apply to some tailored roles and start learning some skill, right? And just spend 15-20 minutes and practice one question like daily, and speak out loudly and build that confidence. So if you take small actions, you can build big momentum. So you don't have to do everything at once. You just have to start, and you have to be consistent. Because if you take one step at a time, one day at a time, like that's how you will have a good career path in the long run. So yeah, this brings me to the end of my like talk. If you have a career break, or if you have any sort of setback in your career, it's not a like a failure. It's just a setup to, come out as a like a emerging breakthrough. So you are capable, and I have seen so many people who have come back after long years of break, and they are having and thriving in their careers. And you just need to be prepared. So you just need the right strategies and the tools that I covered. And then once you're ready, you need to apply and then believe in yourself and just watch what happens. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. It was amazing. And I can vouch, they can just go through your presentation and get inspired as well as having the tips for them to move forward. Amazing, Nandini. Good show. Thank you so much. All right. Good. So now let's just, I have a follow-up question, but I think audiences also wanted to talk to you to understand what. So I'll pick up one or two questions from them and then I'm just going to come back to a couple of pointers what you have just made about it. Amazing points. One second. Let me just pick up questions. I think it's available in chat also. Maybe I'll just go in the reverse order. How do you personally define work-life balance in a fast-paced tech environment? You always said, okay, you have to be ahead, spend 15 minutes and do prep, etc. And as you also said, work is also just piling up. It's not just going to be a small work. They can just do that. How do they do it? Any strategies for them?
Yeah, I think this like the whole thing boils down to time management. Like I in the initial years of my career used to always say I don't have time because I have so many things to do. And believe me, that's always going to be the case. Like you will never have a point in your career when you're saying that I don't have anything. And that's actually a good thing, right? Like you have things to do. But the reason why you have things piling up and you're always overwhelmed with all the things, and it's because your like efficiency and your time management, like your productivity is not good in the sense like you are not prioritizing the right set of tasks at the right time, and you're leaving things like, I mean, I am, to be honest, guilty of this as well. Like this only comes with a lot of practice and experience where you can, consciously make sure that you're utilizing your time to the full extent. So, when you get a time in the morning, like you wake up early, you wake up at 6 o'clock, you spend 2 hours preparing and reading and learning something. Then you go like freshen up, go to the office, spend like 8 hours in the office, and be very productive in that during time period. Like don't like spend time like okay partying or like playing games in the office or talking and like just chit chatting, because that's going, then if you do that, then again you're going to be left with no time, right? So when you come back, then your office work is done. Now you have the time to lay back and then do focus time on your preparation and things of that. So the preparation time is going to be difficult and you would need support from your like family to kind of get through that. So that's the period when you're upskilling. But once you are through that period, you will like feel much more um fulfilled and satisfied because of those kind of learning experience.
Absolutely. And you nailed it down saying that your time management and the efficiency is the two challenges where we need to do that. And probably a addition to that, in case if somebody is asking you to do in organization 2 days of a work in one day, you should also be able to voice it out. Right, so that you have been given a set of time to perform, and in that you are expected to more than a 2%, 3% job you are just doing. It is going to stress out over the time.
Yeah.
Initially, there is a project time, project delivery, everything is okay. But if that is becoming an expectation or a norm of the organization, then probably you have to just do that. As long as that's been taken care, whatever Nandini said is absolutely true. Probably waking up early, just an hour before whatever your current standard time, just make it 1 hour earlier. That sets you a lot more in your plate, which can be done without compromising anything as well. Thanks, Nandini. Thanks for sharing it. So let's just move on to the next question. I'm switching from non-IT to IT and currently unemployed. I have completed a certification in data science and AI, but couldn't get any interview calls from HRs. Feeling demotivated, could you please give me suggestions to get interview calls? I would be chiming in after you, but over to you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, to be very honest, like a lot of people like do come across. In fact, like I would myself say that I am not getting as many interview calls as I'm supposed to be getting. So I don't think like it's just you. It could be like it's just the job market, right? The job market is so like in the sense that if you're not like perfectly tailored your resume to the job description, like I said, it could be just the filtering, like the tool that's filtering you out. So don't take it personally. Like everybody has been through that. In fact, I have applied to so many job like interview like positions, and I have not received the interview callbacks, and I've been so disappointed. But I think the key to that is like you don't stop. So if you are just going to be targeting a set of roles, right? So if, since you mentioned you are switching from non-IT to IT, you might be targeting, let's say, if you only apply to roles at the top companies, right? So now it's going to be tricky for, let's say, to get the callbacks because the relevant experience might not be there. So in this case, you just need to get your foot in the door. And what I mean by getting the foot in the door is like, don't look at it in the perspective that, okay, if this company is like small or like it's a startup, just try to apply to small startup and try to gain and relevant skills and experience, and then try to grow in your career once you have those and switch to better like positions. So when you're transitioning careers, you will not always get the best opportunity that is out there in that field. But there are always opportunities. I always believe that even if you are transitioning, you do have like a whole bunch of opportunities. It just depends on the kind of opportunity that you like want. So if you let's say apply on naukri.com, or let's say InstaHire or any kind of job portal, right? And if you filter out for not the top most like the companies, but if you focus on, let's say, small startups and things of that sort, so then you will, and you focus on what the work is in actually in that company, in the team, and try to learn that, you will definitely build your, and even if you're not getting interview calls, don't waste your time. Basically utilize the time to kind of practice more problems and do keep upskilling yourself, so once you get the interview call, you will nail it.
Awesome. Yes. I said I'm also going to chime in for this question just to add something more towards that, right? So, one of the input, what you said, very powerful is when we are applying, your job description becomes your language to understand, are we communicating right? So, I would add another point to that. You self reflect and resonate for that job description. Are you ready and capable? I think if you are able to answer that, because especially here in this question, I'm moving from non-IT to IT and I'm not getting the interview. So the first pointer is for that job description, are you a deserving candidate? When I say deserve, nothing in a different against the job description. If they ask, I am looking for 3 years IT experience, but if you have applied it, obviously they're not going to call you. So that's what I meant by that, right? It has nothing to do with the personally are you deserved or not. For that job description, your job profile is a matching or not. That's a self-validation. You don't need anybody to just do that. You are the master in saying, yeah, I just saw in Naukri, IBM is just hiring a 5 year for AI experience. Am I going to apply? Answer is no. We don't need to call ourselves and applying and say they have not got a call. Number one, right? So the second part of it, as you second, I'm just going to pick it up. Get to the foot in the door. That's our entry point, right? Where we don't care right now. But I just need to put next time when I'm applying, I'm just working in so and so, as so and so. So that gives you a little edge to just do about it. Even if it is a volunteer, it's absolutely fine because we need that experience. And we will flip for a minute the other role. You are an employer and somebody is applying. Who's the person we are going to choose for that job? The moment you just look at that, the game changes. It's nothing to do with the employee, but for us, even at home, you wanted to hire some support for your home to take care of your kid. Will you just give if Manjula comes and says that, hey, I wanted to learn and I'm just going to take care of your kid? No. I want somebody who knows that done it. If
Absolutely.
yeah, if we are able to put ourselves when we are going to hire somebody, wanted to have the best of it, and it is obvious for employees will do the same thing to make their life simpler, to minimize the time deficiency, whatever it's going through. The tools have come. Fortunately, unfortunately, these tools are called AI tools, which does your 75% of the work. Balance 25 has been given a human intervention. Right? So when we are just going to get into that level of a nitty-gritty, It is our smartness to do. I will do A, B, C, D checks. And if I am not doing it, I will go and reflect myself what's happening over there. That's the second point. And the third point for applying, right? So if you're a restarter, I would recommend go and apply to the portals who can give you the special hands for you. Example, HerSecondInnings. When you just apply into the HerSecondInnings, the corporate knows that HerSecondInnings community members are coming on break. Number one. And number two, most of the cases, we have access to the corporate to get to know the reason, where you will not be able to get when you just go even apply on any of the corporate portal. You applied, you don't know why you have not been called, or even if you attend the interview, you will not get that answer. Probably a one liner, you got rejected. But portal like this has the ability to just do that. That's one. And the second thing is, use these forums or even other places. The community plays a bigger role and the mentor roles are bigger. For example, today nobody would have accessed Nandini by themselves by looking into the LinkedIn, even if they connect. She don't know where to just, though she has the interest to put it across, if 100 questions comes to her, what she will do? So the portal like that will just help us to get the access to them, make use of it, so that it gives you the edge. Oh, Nandini, now if you go and connect with Nandini, your session was good, and I like this point. I wanted to have one more input. What should you? If she continuously sees this thread, she might be coming back. And you know what? Many of these questions we have not addressed. Can we do one more session? It makes productive for her, and it just makes a good for all of you to have access to people like her. Right? So these are all the smaller pointers, but we miss it. Always we come with that expectation. I did my certification. I want a job. I couldn't get that for my community, honestly. And I'm here for more than 10 years to do that. The kind of a corporate expectation, Mangala, please go and showcase what is their project experience skill and then bring them on table. We will just go for the interview. Your practice, practice, practice. The more you are practicing, and I love the Nandini's pointer, your clean code, and make sure the logic talks about it. Even the lateral couldn't just crack a L1 interview because they've been asked to open the laptop, open the notepad, not even a coding. Just give the logic for this problem statement. People fumble. Right? So every technical interview today, the L1 is a kind of a coding assessment, nothing else. Your communication comes later. Your rest of the first is your tick mark. Are you technically capable so that we can move forward? Amazing, Nandini. It was really wonderful to just get to know about the pointers. But I do have one question to you. In fact, multiple questions, but the interest of the time. Right? So let me give the use case. Our community members are coming from break, right? They would have started somewhere from the core Java type. It could be 10 years back because Java is there for 2 decades now, right? More than 2 decades, right? They would have started from your early Java or core Java, or somebody would be with the web services, whatever it is, right? But today, when they are coming, are they need to be a completely a full stack? Otherwise, most of the roles are asking for full stack, full stack, full stack. I can't say I'm a backend developer. I can't say I'm a Angular front end, etc. Both gives me a jerk for me when I'm just doing it. So how do we become a full stack? That's a part of the one. When I say how do we become a full stack, a person who's on a break, your tools were amazing. You can use this to do that. But give them the resource for them. This is the current real version of a front end, back end, what it is. And version has to be practiced ABC way. And then you can put your project to showcase your portfolio in EFG way. And then prepare your interview and go for it. Till such time, don't even apply. This is your preparation phase. During the preparation, I just go and apply and get demotivated. It puts me down. Just give them the strategy for us, because you're coming from the full stack. I just wanted to use your time wisely over there. Tell us that journey to make sure every developer, whoever comes to our community, I should be able to say that use Nandini's connect, where we would be able to get to know the full landscape of it. Over to you, Nandini. You're on mute, my dear.
Sorry. So thank you so much. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, transitioned from a full stack engineer to a backend engineer, and I am very like specific about like even today when I reach out to any recruiter, I clearly tell them I'm a backend engineer and I want to be only in the backend domain. But if I say this, that means like I need to have specialization in backend, and I can't just be a generic like a high level like a backend developer. Like if you know Java, I believe like Java is like the OG language, right? Like it will never go out of like fashion, right? You can't say, okay, I'm a Java developer, I'm not getting a job. I mean, I am a Java developer myself, and I'm a backend engineer. So I mean, that's all I know right now. So I mean, the way I present it is that I'm language agnostic. So that means that you know the skills and the tools and the like concepts, and you can apply them to any language, and don't restrict yourself to a specific language. Whenever a recruiter tells me, okay, what's your language, right, I always tell them that okay, language is no concern for me at all. So first of all, like in your preparation, like choose a language, but don't stick to that language. Like don't make the language your entire like life and your journey, right? Like you can always like switch between like languages. Like I have switched from C sharp to at Microsoft to Java in Oracle, and like now people are moving towards Go. So it's really like not a big like it's just a initial ramp up that you need, and you would need to read the documentation, but it's pretty easy to do that. And once you overcome that kind of a gap, whole bunch of opportunities will open up for you. Like coming to like how do you become from a Java engineer to a full stack engineer, like the roadmap for it. So I believe like the front end and the back end have completely different road paths, right? So for front end engineers, you need to know JavaScript. I either need to like be really good at JavaScript and the concepts like, you know, the promise, like async and things of that sort. So if you really, as a senior engineer with like 10 plus years of experience, you need to showcase that your concepts are really good. The concepts are the key. In all the interviews that I have given, they ask the same basic questions, but they're trying to assess your knowledge of them. So if you just give a theoretical rote answer that is like just rhetorically told from the textbook, it is not going to help you. You really need to get that information in your head and explain it like you have understood it, and apply that knowledge in every single like platform or domain, any kind of use case, right? So if you just explain like the definition, it is not going to like take you very far. So that's my take on it. Like first of all, like if you want to switch to like front end or full stack engineer, you do need to know JavaScript or like TypeScript, or you can pick up any recent like programming language like React, React Native, or any kind of any language. But like JavaScript is like, I think like the OG, like similar to how Java is for the backend engineers, which really helps. And once you know that, then you need to get into the concepts and then also like build some project like you said. So you need to have some projects on GitHub and make them open source, share them in your like resume and say that hey, I built this project, and this project is, let's say, building a game or building an app, and this is what it does, and this is the scale and how many users are using it and things of that sort, how much time it took you to build that, any statistics about like the application itself that you have built, and host it on any like free hosting platform or things of that sort. So for front end, you would need to have those kind of projects where you know showcase your front end skills. And for back end, again, there's other kinds of skills. So recently I was mentoring a like student who was wanting to find an internship, and I suggested that you can just build a chat gpt integration with Google Sheets. So for example, like if you have a Google Sheets with a lot of data, and if you just query that chat gpt, okay, in this Google Sheet, can you tell me how many, let's say, people have X, right? Like, so if you have data in a sheet and if you're trying to query that in the natural language, right? So you can build that kind of an integration where that language text will go through ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT API will connect to Google Sheets, read that data, infer that. So the ultimate like processing is going to be done by the ChatGPT, like Open API. But the only thing that you have contributed is the integration between those two. But that's a very good use case of something that you can develop quickly and showcase that you have the right skills and to be relevant in the market, because now you can say that you use the Open API like like the backend API, right? Like you know how to use the tokens and like how things work and like all of that. So I think those kind of quick projects, if you can showcase, and you can also like now say that you have done an AI project. So this will make you like stand out and become more relevant to the job description that's the job posting about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks for the pointers. And added to that, once you have just done Nandini's steps, whatever she has just spoken about it, upskill, do your projects, and then showcase in GitHub and etc. The next step is you can also connect with any startup. Say, I'll just do this, volunteer for 2 months for your. I understood you're in the same domain. I know this is a pain point, and I have the expertise, especially the question from non-IT to IT. Somebody has just done your certification. Your next step is taking that live projects, right? So just do that, then people would be started coming back to you for the interview part of it. Good. And amazing, Nandini, it was a pleasure talking to you and getting more insight. I learned, and I was really smiling when you're talking about the OG language. Java is a OG language. Happy to just hear about it. Yes, whether you're just C or C++ or Java, anything, those are all the fundamentals, never goes wrong, right? The moment you do it, you can just expand it to whether it is a Go or a Python, whatever you're just doing, you should be able to expand it. Thanks for just giving that brief, and absolutely awesome to know your career graph and how you are just aspiring and transforming yourself, and wishing you very, very, very all the best, and keep rocking, keep inspiring it, and stay in touch, and we get inspiration by looking at people like you. Thanks for just joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really amazing to join this community and share what I could, and hope this has been an insightful session. And yeah, I would love to stay connected. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Nandini. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers. And it is our pleasure to bring a Nandini to just showcase what is that we can do in real time to just get your experience to just transform to the next level of a career shift. Wishing you all the best and happy Diwali, and looking forward to just host you another session. And couple of announcements before I just sign off. One is about a GHCI session is coming up. In fact, Nandini also, we were able to reach out through the GHCI Connect only, right? So if you're a tech person, I would recommend just be part of that group, where you will get a lot of inspiration by connecting with all tech leaders. So that's the one thing is just coming up. And the second one, currently we are doing a agentic AI free workshop. It's going on. It's a 8-day workshop. It's a global workshop. Hands-on experience have been given with a proper LMS, prerequisite, etc. At the end of it, we would like to bring 2 or 3 things to you. One, if you're able to complete the free workshop, and you would be eligible to get into the certification free from our end, which is a $150, which is a certification from UiPath. You would be able to get that. That's part number one. Part number two, by any chance you feel it is too much overwhelming, I'm not ready for it, right? Still, I would recommend, please go ahead and get a grasp of it, what is happening in the industry. And we are hosting a career day for you, which is going to be a blueprint for you, how to transition yourself into agentic AI side, which is going to be November 10th and 11th is going to happen. The only thing for Indian team member is going to be, it's going to be the evening time. It's a EST time we are hosting. So please be available between your 8:30 to 10 o'clock time, and you would be able to amazingly connect how non-IT people are just transitioning to agentic AI. What are they doing? In fact, speakers have been lined up for you. How career people in tech are just seeing a next level of a career transition. And you will also, as usual, HSI format of a mentor track is going to come. So you would be allowed to get into one of the mentor track based on your taste of it, whether a developer track, architect track, or BA track, or even LLM training track, how you can just get into that. So we are creating those kind of a track. Please get into that, which is going to be doing about it. Stay in touch, keep inspiring, and this is the small way of we connected together and making sure we are holding your hand, and your opportunities are available in the second innings in the career page. Please apply. Please apply, and we are more than happy to make sure you are financially independent. And that's our dream come true, where to see every woman is financially independent and thriving in the world, where we are having the equity and equality. Wishing you all the best and signing off from you, and see you soon. Take care. Thank you.